So a couple days ago was the big Xbox game showcase. It's basically what E3 is, or Xbox versions of E3, where they have a big press conference and reveal all the new games coming out. And overall, I thought it was better than the PS State of Play and the Summer Games Showcase. Though that's not really hard to do because I found both of those pretty mediocre. But online, everyone seems to love this Xbox Games Showcase. They view it as one of the best games showcase in a long time, and they thought that Xbox absolutely killed it. They absolutely did an amazing job with this showcase. But I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was okay. Now, you might be wondering, why did I think it was okay? Well, for starters, yes, most of the games here looked really good. I can't wait for MGS Delta. I think Perfect Dark looks really good. And Doom, Doom, The Dark Ages, I can't wait for that. That game looks amazing. And that's a day one, right? But a lot of those games were missing something crucial. And what I mean is a release year, right? Not even a release date, a release year they're missing. A lot of times they would end the trailer and nothing. They won't tell us when to expect the game, or any kind of window when it's going to be a release, or if it's going to be coming out soon. And I've really noticed that a lot of people haven't really been mentioning that, or they've kind of been glossing over that as a whole. Even though, in my opinion, it's probably extremely important to know when these games are coming out to look forward to. For example, I know a lot of people are excited for the Gears of War game. Personally, I'm not a huge Gears of War fan. I'm not really into the series. I'm more of a Halo guy when it comes to the Xbox exclusives over Gears of War. But a lot of people seems to be excited about Gears of War E-Day, I believe it's called. But here's the thing. We didn't get a release date or a release year. We don't know when it's coming out. As far as we know, this won't be coming out until the next generation Xbox. Alright? Because remember, this is Microsoft we're talking about. And I know Microsoft isn't the only one that announced games early and doesn't talk about it for years. Sony does it. Nintendo, to a lesser extent, does it with games like Metro Prime 4. But, I'm just getting tired of seeing these games not have any kind of release year or release date coming. Cool. This game looks cool, but when am I going to be able to play it? We saw this same thing with Microsoft with Hellblade 2. It was announced all the way back in 2019. And guess what? We didn't see gameplay of the game until, I believe, 2021 was when we saw the first bit of gameplay. And we didn't even get the game until 2024. So almost 5 years after the game was announced was when we got the game. And we don't know if that's going to be the case for these others. It could be longer, it could be shorter. Perfect Dark, yeah, the gameplay looks cool. I think it looks... I would definitely want to give it a try when it comes out. Either I'll buy it or play it on Game Pass. But there's no release date. I don't know if it's coming out next year, the year after, or the year after that, or maybe not for a little while. I get why people are excited that these games were announced, and these games, we at least know that they're making these games, but we don't know when they're coming. Gears of War, I get it. People are super excited for that. But let's be honest. When is that coming out? Is that going to be coming out soon? Or is that going to be coming out far, later? Like I said, next generation Xbox. And I don't know. I feel like Nintendo, though, has been, the company that understands this the most. If you look at a lot of their Nintendo Directs, they will announce a game, right? And then reveal, this game is coming in 6 months. Sure, they've done it, like I said, with Metroid Prime 4 and some other games where they'll announce it years in advance. But most of the time, they will talk about a game at the Nintendo Direct, reveal that game at the Nintendo Direct, then have it released in the next couple of months. Mario Wonder was released, I believe, half a year later between its initial announcement and release, which is fantastic. I get excited that this new game is coming out, and the fact that it's coming out relatively soon, that's perfect. While these companies like Microsoft and Sony and all these other companies, they will announce the game and then nothing for the next few years. And then we finally get it like 8 years later. And I'm like, at that point, why didn't you announce it much later? You know? Why won't you just announce it when it's closer to release date to get people more excited? Like, hey, this game looks amazing. Like, look at Doom. I can't wait for the new Doom. And guess what? It's coming out next year. I wouldn't be as excited for the new Doom as I am now if the game wasn't coming out next year. If they just showed like a little like teaser trailer for Doom: The Dark Age and said that's it, day one on Game Pass, I guess, but no release date, no release year, I don't think I'd be excited. I'd be like, oh, cool, a new Doom, but that's it because I don't know when it's coming out. It could be coming out in the next like 5 to 8 years. Especially with how big AAA gaming's getting and how long it takes to make these games. We've seen games like other games we announced before that still aren't out, like that Quantic Dream Star Wars game. I believe that was announced all the way back in 2020, and we haven't heard anything about that since. We haven't heard a release date, or I don't even think a release year. Maybe we did, or maybe there were some rumors of a release year, but we haven't heard anything about that. And I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I just want to hear these games. Well, I just want to see these trailers, right? And then find out these games are coming out relatively soon. Like, as much as I am hyped for MGS Delta Snake Eater, like, that game looks amazing. Like, honestly, Konami, you did a good job. Like, from what I'm seeing, it seems like you guys actually took your time and crafted this gorgeous looking game, and it seems to be, sure, we haven't seen much of it, but it seems to be pretty faithful to the original Snake Eater, MGS3 Snake Eater. But like, we still don't know when it's coming out. Most likely next year, I'm hoping for. I think it's most likely next year, but we don't know. It could be a couple years from now also. And I'm just like, I'd rather have these companies, I think I'd rather have these companies like hold on to the game or wait to show it off when it's closer to release. Like I loved when Nintendo did that with games like Mario Wonder, Fire Emblem Engage. They announced these games like almost half, like they announce the game and then half a year later they come out. And it's like, man, that's perfect. I get excited for these new games coming out and I get to play these games relatively soon. That's great. And like I liked how Sony did that with Astrobot. They announced the new Astrobot at the PS State of Play, and the game's coming out relatively soon, which is perfect because now I'm like, oh great, I have this game to look forward to, and that it's coming out soon. Instead of waiting 5 years for this game to come out, the game's coming out relatively soon. But overall, that's my opinion on the Xbox Game Showcase. I want to know how you guys feel. Leave a comment below if you really liked the game show, if you didn't, or if you're kind of just neutral on it. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.